Hello, beautiful people. I have no idea if you can see or hear me, and my stupid phone, I set it to go horizontal, and it wants to go. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to get this thing right, and it wants to go portrait. Can you hear me? Let me know. If you can't hear me, then it's pointless because it's the only thing that I can do at the moment because the internet people have still not arrived. Yeah, still not arrived. Bloody fools. Let me get this up here as well so I can see who is there. So I've got two people watching. Could be me. Hi, Elle, you can hear me? You can see me? Yay! Yay! Oh, brilliant. Thank you. It's wonderful to see you, Elle. All I can do is apologise to everybody for the idiocy of people. Hello, Chrissy. Lovely to see you. Thank you for being here. Guys, I have seen your messages on Discord. I have not had a chance to get back to you. I have been on the phone a lot with the supplier of my Tinterweb, and I have been trying to catch up with stuff at home, and just really, 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 really angry. As well as trying to run and just, yeah, so much so that I've got a deadline, which was at 3 o'clock today, which has been missed. Sorry, guys, I'm going to have to leave the volume on these phones due to the fact that the internet provider have not sent me a message to say that they are going to be coming through. I asked them, when I was chatting to the person last night, they'd given me sort of money towards my bill, but I did ask them to get the engineer here at 8 o'clock this morning. Of course, that hasn't happened. Yeah, Chrissy, I will be. Hi, Ryan Burke. Hi, Pagan. Hope you are doing well. Yes, here's the hedgehog. Here's little Spike. So, yeah, Chrissy, I have requested compensation. If they are not here by 6 p.m. tonight, because that is the cutoff time apparently, they shall be getting a really, really, really call from me that will be incredibly strongly worded. Shall I put it that way? It will be strongly worded because, you know, it is my livelihood, and I can't stream here the way that I would stream on my laptop and my PC. I've got my phone, my other phone, which is going off of the mobile data on this phone, on this phone that I'm using. So it keeps wanting to connect to the other internet, but I keep going and changing stuff, which is a right pain. Sorry for the ding, 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 dings, the notifications, guys. I've got to keep it on because I know what's going to happen. I'm going to talk to you guys for like 10 minutes and then they're going to appear. I just know it. I just know it. I've been sat here for the last hour typing up a script for a video that I want to record. I was hoping to record it this afternoon. Well, I say this afternoon, earlier this afternoon, and the script took me longer than I expected it to do. So that will be recorded either after this live stream or later on, or possibly tomorrow. So guys, if you are watching, please give me a like. That would be awesome if you can. Please subscribe to the channel. To my wonderful, wonderful give me, yeah, they've actually compensated me up to that amount. So yeah, they have compensated me up to that amount. They wanted to give me less, and then I said it's not acceptable, so they've compensated me up to that amount, which, you know, what can you do? It's not enough, really, is it, for the fact that a document that I was supposed to complete, which I cannot complete on my phone, it has to be done on the internet. The actual website says it needs to be done on the internet. You can't do it over a phone. So that is just, yeah. So I've missed that deadline. So I'm going to be in trouble with that. But thank you for checking that for me. Hi, dears. Lovely to see you. So I may be missing some comments here. Also, to my moderators, I wasn't able to choose who was going to be chatting today, so you may have a bit of a difficult job, and I do apologise for that. Nothing I can do. When you go live on your phone, it's completely different setup, and I'm very annoyed that, because when I set it up for landscape, and it changed it to portrait. So yeah, I can use a hotspot on your phone in future to connect the PC to the internet. I don't think that it would actually work, QQ, but I will have a go. But thank you for that. I wasn't aware of that. I'm not doing it now. I'm not faffing about now because stuff. I mean, I said to them yesterday, if I'd have known, because the engineer came yesterday morning. He was relatively early, and he checked the box in the house, and no, nothing coming through. And then he went to check the cabinet outside in the street, and the cable is actually, it's not snapped, but basically this cab is like, it's like, it looks like a post box, but it's green, and you lift the thing up and then put it back down. And he says what's probably happened is whoever worked on there at 11:15 yesterday morning probably didn't gently lower the thing and probably just dropped it. So yeah, my cable is, it's not oh, thank you, QQ, that's wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful. You say it's easy. As Supitansky says, Technan. I'm really not very good with technology, and as most of you guys know, hello, one of my cats has just appeared. As most of you guys know, it takes me ages to get things sorted with Tinterweb. So here I am. I'm probably going to get a phone call from my mum as well. How are you? I should have rang her earlier, and I just completely forgot. It is fibre optic cable, which is very fragile, has to be handled with care. It can't be bent, crushed. Yeah, it looks like when they've put the thing down that it's been sticking out, and it's pushed the cable thingy. Go into settings on Android and search. Oh yeah, I've got my hotspot set up for this phone, because this phone doesn't have a SIM. This phone normally goes through Wi-Fi or hotspot, depending on where I am. So I can't dial out from this phone. So that hotspot is already set up. My laptop probably would set up to hotspot, but definitely not my PC, because my PC doesn't have Wi-Fi. It's a very old PC. And not an iPhone. God, no, can't, no. Mine's like budget Samsung. My mate says he saw at least a weasel in the area yesterday. Wish I could catch sight of the adorable. Oh, that's sweet. So guys, I don't know if you watched the video that I loaded up late last night. I'd recorded it, and I actually recorded it the day before, but when I watched back the footage, you're gonna laugh now, I actually farted while I was recording, and you could hear it, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to upload that. So when I went out last night at 6 o'clock, because I waited until 6, hi Billy, lovely to see you, thank you for being here. So when I went out at 6, I recorded the video while I was out, and I'd wanted to go up to the field where the fire had been, and there was a pigeon that had been burned, and I nearly cried. I've actually found 2 pigeons in my garden that have died, probably from heat exhaustion. This was last week. So yeah, it's been a difficult week technology-wise because I was at my mum's, so I didn't actually have well, I could have connected to her internet, but to be honest, I wanted to spend time with my mum. It's quite, oh, just got a notification there, but sorry guys. No, it's not. Sorry, it's not. I'm expecting them to just rock up and expect me to stop everything that I'm doing. And if they don't, there's going to be hell to pay. There's going to be hell to pay. So yeah, the wildfire thing and the climate change and the climate crisis. I mean, yes, weather is weather. It changes. Yes, the climate has always changed. But at the moment, the speed with which it's changed over the last 10 years, the speed with which it's changed and the temperatures that have gone up is phenomenal. And we do not, in Europe, have the infrastructure for that kind of heat. So I'm going to see if I can play this. So just bear with me a second. Okay, I'm still connected. It was a video. I think it was on, it was an article, actually. It was a news article. It was from Reuters. So I'm not able to get everything up here and save it because this is a very old phone, this one, and it's a bit cronky, to say the least. So hopefully hopefully you'll be able to hear this. So this is from Florida in I think it's Sicily, Florida in Sicily. So just bear with me guys, because sound. Take that back. Sorry, again, Technan. Oh God, I'm just going to have to let this play, aren't I? And then restart it. So sorry guys, just bear with me till it starts again. It's only short, but it's talking about the incredible heat in Florida, in Sicily. Summary of this is, this article was written yesterday, but the summary of it: in August 2021, Florida recorded a temperature of 48.8 degrees Celsius. Hotter summers are leaving streets and piazzas deserted. Now, when I was in Italy, I remember I was in Pisa and didn't realize that they had siesta. So we were stuck around for a couple of hours, not able to do anything. The residents in Florida, this is Florida in Sicily, compare the extreme heat to a new form of lockdown. And scientists warn of rising average temperature, tropical nights. We have experienced this here in the United Kingdom. And I know for a lot of us, it is incredibly hard to keep cool. And beekeepers say extreme heat is wiping out colonies. And I know I have not seen as many bees this year as I normally would. So let's see. It's still, sorry guys, it's still going on. Yeah, this was updated 6 hours ago, so it's been updated today. I see comments on Facebook saying ridiculous things like, oh, it's weather, it's summer, enjoy it, and so on and so on. My concern is not for the fact that it's summer. My concern is for our children and our children's children who are going to have to live through this in the coming decades. And somebody said that this year is the hottest year that it is, is the coolest year we are going to have in a long time. So we've got El Nino, Super El Nino, which is already affecting us. No, I don't want next up. Bloody hell. Right, let's pause that. So we've got Super El Nino, which is already affecting us, and it's going to affect us into autumn. So this autumn, it's going to be very rainy, very wet, and we will probably have, floods. Because don't forget, the ground is so dry at the moment that rainwater is just going to go sliding off of that ground. It's not going to be absorbed. Luckily here, we've had a couple of days of rain since I've been back, but it is going to be a wet, miserable autumn. Winter could be very, very cold, could be freezing. Whether we will have snow or not, I don't know, but it is... they are warning us that next year, summer will be even hotter than it has been. Hello, Mithril. Lovely to see you. Hope you are doing well. It's going to affect the UK right into 2027. Yeah. Well, that's what they're saying, that the heat with the Super El Nino will cause muggy, wet weather this autumn, lots of rain, and then into next summer, it will be even hotter than it has been this summer. QQ says, yes, I'm getting more and more alarmed at the lack of insects in North Devon. I've spent a nice few weeks watching dragon and damselflies laying eggs too at the end of their life cycle. Very cool. I love dragonflies. I really do. I really, really do. Transformation and change. Do you know about the X-Links data center being foisted upon us near Bedford? I'm sure that One Angry Pagan will have lots of angry words to say about that. I think AI needs to end. I think it needs to end. It's just going to cause even more problems. So all these climate change deniers, just enjoy the heat and 1976. And when you look at the graphs, you can see how the heat has increased over the last 40, 50 years due to carbon, due to the fact that we are emitting more crap into the atmosphere and petrochemicals and the heat. So you've got El Nino, which is, going to create this heat dome like it has done. But the problem is the vast majority of our cities and towns are concrete, and that holds the heat. And, that heat is then doubled. I can hear somebody outside my house. Yeah. I knew it. What did I say? At the beginning of this, what did I say? Well, hopefully they'll sort out outside first. Hello, Daily Blase. Lovely to see you. Hello, David Jacobson. They will build lots of data centers as the markets are jumping off on it. Yeah. It's typical, Billy. It is typical. I knew it would happen now. I knew it would. Murphy's and Sods. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it's just the lack of belief of people, the fact that they cannot believe that. I think a lot of people don't want to accept it. My sort of view is that people don't want to accept that it's happening because it terrifies them, because it means that they're going to have to change their lifestyles. We are all going to have to change our lifestyles. I mean, the extreme heat that we had, I love being outside and the sunshine. I do. But I wouldn't go out in it. I wouldn't go out in it. Skin cancer will probably rise. I take medication that is affected by the heat, so it is probably going to affect me in ways where I will have to sit in the house and do nothing, which will drive me mad. Sorry, guys, I'm not dead center here and it's driving me mad. So that's going to, and then running. As you guys know, I love my running. And even with the temperatures that we've had and the fact that it's supposed to cool down in the evenings, it's not. It hasn't been. Last night was lovely when I went out, and I'll be going out after 6 tonight. So, Darren, I'm very sorry. I am going to miss your Friday Frolics. Guys, if you want to, I could not do a link to your channel either because I'm on my phone. But if you would please go ahead and have a watch of Daily Blase at 5 p.m. for Friday Frolics. Absolutely brilliant, fabulous show. And he'll cheer you up after the doom and gloom that I talk about. So definitely worthwhile to start your weekend off with a good giggle and laugh. Species fail when they can't adapt. We are one of the most adaptable animals in the animal kingdom. If we go extinct, it'll be because we decided not to adapt through ignorance and fear. Exactly, Pagan. Exactly. And I'm sorry if I've missed anybody saying hi because I've only got a tiny bit of chat which I can see here, and so you see me squinting. Hello, Counter Kev. Lovely to see you. Thank you, Chris C, for putting up. I'm hoping that that's Daily Blase's Friday Frolics. So, oh yeah, and please as well support One Angry Pagan. If you can pop a link up to One Angry Pagan's page, listen to me, YouTube channel. I enjoyed your ranties about the carbon sink and so on. Completely agree with you. I work with AI every day, and Anthropic are building more data centers as they need more capacity for their newer models. At the moment, we can only run 50% weekly limit on the latest model. Right, let's see if I can play this now.
5 years ago, the town of Floridia on the southeastern coast of Sicily recorded the highest ever temperature in Europe. And residents say extreme heat here is no longer measured in records, but in its impact on the once vibrant daily life. Streets are deserted. The Piazza del Popolo, along the town's social hub lined with cafes and palm trees, is nearly empty for much of today.
Let me know if you can hear this.
Ugo Tomasello recalled a day so hot he struggled to breathe. There were so few people about that he thought he could die in the street, and there would be no one to pick him up. The heat here lingers well into the evenings, disrupting a cherished local tradition known as pigiari u fresco, when families pull kitchen chairs outside their homes to catch the breeze and socialize. Today, increasingly frequent and prolonged heat waves are driving people indoors. Some now compare the societal disruption from extreme heat to a new form of lockdown.
Molte persone sono addirittura indotte a non uscire di casa.
Many people are actually discouraged from leaving their homes, even in the evenings at times, because there is no relief from the heat.
Vita sociale proprio si sta osservando.
And this is also disrupting social life to some extent. We are witnessing a decline in social interaction that makes this period resemble the COVID-19 lockdown.
Lockdown da Covid-19.
Luigi Passotti is the head of Sicily's Agro-Meteorological Information Service. On August 11th, 2021, his department measured a temperature of 119.8 degrees Fahrenheit, the highest temperature ever recorded on continental Europe. That distinction transformed the Sicilian town of 20,000 into a symbol of Europe's warming climate, and not just a symbol, but an omen. Climate scientists say individual extremes are less significant than the steady rise in average temperatures.
Qua non parliamo più di picchi estremi.
Here we are no longer talking about extreme temperature peaks, which might last for a day or two as happened in 2021.
Ma parliamo di intere settimane o addirittura.
But rather about whole weeks or even months with consistently high temperatures. And these are high not only during the day hours, but also at night, when there should at least be some relief.
Almeno c'è un po' di ristoro quando
When people would usually go out into Sicily's public squares and gather.
esce si ritrova.
Across Europe, climate change has been linked to increasingly frequent and intense weather extremes, from drought and wildfires to torrential rainfall. Sicily has emerged as one of Europe's climate frontlines.
It's showing wildfires now. okay, it's a different video. So, yeah, it is going to change our lifestyles. I think that people will probably have to migrate to working at night. I know, not great, is it? I think that schools will need to change the way that schooling is done. Hospitals are really going to suffer. We've already seen cases of nurses fainting in hospitals because of the heat. You know, when my dad was in hospital a few years ago before he passed away, it was so hot in there. Old people being ill, you know, a lot of them get cold, and I was just like, I couldn't survive in this heat. So yeah, how, you know, when I lived in South Africa, I have seen tar on the roads melt, and the lines on the road end up doing that, you know, being wibbly wobbly on the road because of the melting tar when it's really hot. We saw the train derailment the other day with the fault on the track, possibly, I'm not 100% sure, caused by the heat. Traveling on the tube must be horrendous. I mean, it's horrendous as it is, you know, with the temperature in there, but in the heat that we've experienced recently, it must be absolutely dreadful. I know Reagan Elite was talking about it. If you don't follow Reagan Elite, please give his channel a check out. I was not able to tune in this morning. I really wanted to, because I see he's changed the format of the Friday morning show, so I really wanted to watch it. I wasn't able to. I also saw they increased drilling for oil. Okay, now, when it comes to drilling for oil, and I have mentioned this quite a few times, we still need oil. Plastic uses petrochemicals. Until we can come up with an alternative for plastic in a way that will be as cheap as it currently is. Think of bumpers on cars. Okay, not so much new cars these days, but keyboards, selfie sticks, your phone casing, all of that is plastic, and plastic uses petrochemicals. There will have to be a shift from petrol to electrical and whatever substance they can use. Now, I don't know if hemp can be used for, you know, as a replacement to plastic, but you've also got to think of the rest of the world as well. And that it too requires oil. Can be made from cellulose, I think. Okay, Counter Kev, I'm not 100% sure. But the licenses signed for oil will not benefit the UK. Absolutely agree with you. Absolutely agree with you. I know that it's sold on the world market. And at the same time, though, and I'm sorry, I'm not for drilling. Okay, don't get me wrong. I don't want them to drill. I do not want more petrol, more oil. But at the same time, the country will make money from it. I know. So, you know, there are for and there are against on both sides of this, and I'm able to see both sides of it. Personally, I don't want it to happen. But it's a pity Wiccan isn't the main religion in the world, then people would care more about the planet. Absolutely. Cellulose from plants. Thank you, Mithril. Hemp can indeed be used. I thought so. Majority of North Sea oil is refined into petrol, diesel, bunker oil, fuel oil as not right type of oil for plastics. Hello, Viper Scott. Lovely to see you. I'm sure you're driving and doing driving stuff, but it's lovely to see you. Thank you for being here. So, yeah. What about lorries? When can lorries change over to electric? You know, there is this whole transition that needs to play. I use a petrol car. My car is 20 years old. I cannot afford to buy a new car. even a second-hand car in petrol, let alone a second-hand electric vehicle. There is no point in my house where I could connect to charge it either, and they wouldn't put one in because this house is going to be knocked down at some stage in the future, hopefully in the distant future. I am touching wood, my desk is wood. But there's this transition, and it's being stalled because of people who are idiots. And, you know, we've missed the deadline of 2030. We'll miss the 2050 deadline. It's not going to happen. It isn't going to happen. Not when you've got places like India and Pakistan that are, you know, making garments that are sold here, Shine, Temu, etc. And these poor women and men who work in these factories, sweatshops, are paid less than minimum wage. I mean, they are so underpaid, but they deserve a life too. And it's this, you know, how do you convince a third world country that they need to change that? EVs is cost of recharging and coverage of charging stations. Despite the human species being low in genetic diversity, our social cultural diversity will help us when the collapse comes. Many folk imagine a Mad Max world. I'd argue species is more resilient. Caterpillar have developed a like-for-like hydrogen engine that will work just like a diesel equivalent. I've lost hope ever since Trump won second term. Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, he is the leader of the world, isn't he? We don't want him to be, but he's, I mean, despite the fact that the guy's an absolute idiot, he is the leader of the world. Also, the oil we obtain from the North Sea fields is the wrong type of oil for our refineries and therefore immediately exported into the international market. True, Chris, but I did say that we do need that money, those finances into our coffers. Hi, Reagan Elite, lovely to see you. I was just saying that I'm so sorry I missed your live stream today. I still have no internet. I am streaming on my phone, hence the lack of, you know, hence the fact that you're looking at me in portrait rather than landscape. Please, guys, if you can, support Reagan Elite, fantastic channel. He live streams every morning at 11 until 12. Absolutely brilliant show. Love watching. I've not been able to watch so much this week because I have had other stuff going on. And he also live streams most evenings at 8 p.m. with various shows. Absolutely worthwhile watching. Has a lot of guests on. I didn't get to see your show last night with Graham Price from Power to the People channel. I'm really upset about that because I did want to watch. I've just had so much going on, guys. Hi, Jessica. Lovely to see you. Does anybody know what, has anybody heard from Indie Doc Mel? Just a bit worried about Indie Doc Mel. Not seen her for a while. Last tax year, the tax revenue from fossil fuel industry was around 4.4 billion. In that same year, the UK paid out an estimated 17.5 billion in subsidies and tax rebates to the fossil fuel industry. Yeah, they're the people that rule the world. They are the people that rule the world. You know, when you look at the Middle East, Saudi, and so on, and the wealth that they have. I hope so too, Reagan Elite. I've got a feeling that there might be outside because I can't see through the window, but I heard something going on. I'm just furious. This is day 3 with no internet. Oh, Reagan Elite's not on next week. Sorry, yes, you're taking a break, aren't you? But anyway, regardless, go and subscribe to his channel. It's that simple. Just go and subscribe to his channel, hit the notification bell, and then you will know when he is going live. But 11 till 12 weekdays AM, that is. Brilliant show. Absolutely love it. Sorry guys, my chest is really bad at the moment. I think it's the humidity here. It's been a nightmare. Still no reply from Indie Doc Mel. Oh, you know, I'm worried about her. I really am. Sorry guys. We're not gaining anything by opening up new oil and gas fields. In fact, it's likely we'll pay out more to the fossil fuel industry. Thanks for that info, Chris C. I didn't realise that was the case. Again, I've not had much chance to investigate stuff because of no internet. So, yeah, besides the fact that the climate is a bit fucked, and I can swear because I'm still not monetized because I need to do that monetization on the internet, which was my plan for the past 3 days. Your internet was down for over a week just recently. God, I couldn't cope, Counter Kev. I couldn't cope. But I am going to be, if they don't come by 6 p.m., they are going to get an earful from me. Point one for me argument, interdependence breeds adaptability. If one node fails, the rest of humanity can figure out the other routes around the damage. Yeah, I know. I don't think the world will end up like Mad Max, but I do think what will happen is there will be a lot of theft. People will be breaking into other people's houses to look for food and supplies. Food is going to be the shortage. With the heat, the fact that this year the yield is lower than it normally is, and many farmers, I don't know, I haven't seen anything from Liz Webster's channel and seen what she's been saying. It's a pity that Alex from Political X is not doing the Sunday roast at the moment, because that he normally has Liz on and she could give us a much more in-depth, detailed analysis of the farming issues at the moment. Thank you, Chris C, for putting up the link for Reagan Elite. Has done a trip and disappeared without saying bye. Oh no. When you say trip, do you mean like a holiday? Yes, and Reagan Elite Shorts channel as well. So please make sure you go and check that channel out too. So I think that food is going to be the biggest problem. I've seen reports and interviews with farmers saying that they are already feeding their cattle and so on the winter feed. So what are they going to feed them in winter? That footage of that field, all the rubble gone, the bales of hay gone. And the bales of hay were there on the Thursday. It's just absolutely awful that this apparently stems from some TikTok thing where there's like, oh, let's go and burn as much as we can. Idiots, absolute idiots. Specialization creates a toolkit. A community contains a diverse mix of minds that can pivot their skills to new problems. We aren't just going to lose the knowledge we have gained. Oh, no, I agree with you. I mean, my ideal situation, Pagan, is to live in besides the fact that I want to live in a cottage in the middle of nowhere in a forest next to the sea on a mountain, have chickens and goats and a sheep or two and a couple of pigs and some, a cow or two, become self-sufficient. That would be my ideal dream. But I have friends who are looking at a piece of land where we can sort of, have a commune kind of environment where we can grow food and, live pretty much off grid, but we would still need our internet connection. So, the sat link something or other, Starlink something or other that you can get. So 6 months. I do remember trip, definitely. I do remember trip. I thought that's what you meant, but I wasn't 100% sure. So I think that, that may well be the way to go in the future. But, things such as pharmaceuticals, illnesses, who will be providing those? There's a whole load of things, Pagan, that I used to do disaster recovery for a massive courier and freight company in the logistics side of things. And I did the disaster recovery plan for the entire company. I'm talking about every single department, every single branch, every single in-house. Now, an in-house was a small branch that we would have on our client's property where their parcels would be handed to, and that would be sorted there, and they would deliver the parcels. Like Escom was one of the big clients that we had, so the parcels would be sent down to the in-house, and they would then be picked up by the drivers in the areas, and the guys who worked in the in-house would then take the parcels out and deliver them during the day. The ones that came in. Yeah, she did say she was going to vanish and disappear, didn't she, person? Hi, person, lovely to see you. She did say that, and I thought she was, I was also thinking, Billy, about Ivan. Not seen him for ages either. No, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. And like you say, we have a lot more intelligence now, and we still have books. We still have books. To be honest, I won't be sad if the internet's gone, as in the way it is now. Although, to live the life that I want to live, I mean, I'm doing this now, hopefully to educate people, but also because I need to make a living. Disaster recovery, I have a little experience of that too, working for Siemens years ago. It didn't go too well. Oh, bless you. No, because mine was just after Y2K, I was involved in all the Y2K audits, basically checking that all of the audits had been done properly. So I was checking the paperwork and all of the print-offs that were done by the computers and the da-da-da-da-da. And I was so disappointed. I know this sounds weird, but I was so disappointed that nothing went wrong at midnight. I was sat in a nightclub. I was sober because I was waiting to see if I had to, do something, and nothing happened, which was good because it meant that we'd actually done the job right. But on the other hand, I'm like, wanted to see my plan in action. Ivan has messaged on Discord. He's stepping away from all this for a while. Yeah, Pagan, I know a lot of the mental health stuff really got to him, and I completely and 100% relate to that. If you do hear from him, send our love to him. D12, at least he's okay. I know he found the topics hard. Yeah, he did. He did find the topics hard to. You value this tool. I do too, because it gives you quick access to the information that you need. But at the same time, social media causes so many arguments and fights and, just horribleness. People can be so horrible to each other. And that comes back to the whole climate crisis, sort of people saying, no, it's not happening. It's just, and like Pagan was saying, it's fear. It's mostly fear-driven. People do not want to change their lifestyles. People still want to have the things that they have. Look how many times our internets dropped due to the heat when we were live streaming. And I mean, I had my fan behind my laptop. My best wish, okay, world peace, absolutely, agree with you. Britain, Australia and Canada have called the decision of the Israel military authorised not to open criminal investigation into April 2024 airstrikes that killed 7 aid workers. Okay, well, Israel will be Israel, Iran will be Iran, and Trump will be Trump. And I saw your comment earlier on, I think it was Chris, you put the comment about the ship being renamed after Trump. He's so vain, such a narcissist, such a bloody narcissist. You're finding it hard to feel like we're being played at every single level. Yeah, we are. And it's picking through that information that's there to find the truth. And there's so much false information out there, so much fakery, and people distrusting scientists. I do think that the COVID lockdowns had a huge amount to pay for the, the rise of social media with people like Russell Brand and also Andrew Tate, who, sort of became a huge thing in the manosphere. Proud of myself today. I repaired my dog's lead. First time I've ever done something since hospital. Oh, well done, Mithril. That's really good. Internet is not evil. What others do on it is. Yeah. The reason I value it so much is that you've got access to knowledge, and it has given the advantage. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Yep, he can't stand the very idea that an aircraft carrier will be named after a Black War hero. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's not only that, though. He thinks he should have everything. He should have all the awards and all. I look at him with the World Cup football, you know, when he tried to get in on the photo. The wealthy are currently trying to take back this power, but I don't think they will ever entirely succeed. You know, whether you believe in the Illuminati or the, you know, whatever you want to call them, the Rothschilds, the this, the that, the next thing, you know, money talks. It is money that rules the world. And then you've got despots and, you know, psychopaths like Trump and Putin and Xi and all the rest of them that think that, you know, they should be in charge of the world. It's sad. I was watching a documentary on my, because obviously I can't watch telly now. He's obsessed with getting his name all over everything. I thought you were going to say something else there, Diz. Sorry, I'm just... Money talks. Yeah, it does. I've lost my train. It's gone choo, 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 choo. What was I talking about? Remind me. Trump's new mistress, who looks like Ivanka and is 10 years younger than Ivanka. Yeah, David, I can believe that. I was watching a documentary about a building in China. Cannot remember the name, but 30,000 people live in this building. It's huge. It was apparently supposed to be built to be a hotel. And in this building, half of the people that live in there never see the daylight. A lot of them don't have windows. The rooms are tiny. Oh, it's a delivery that's just arrived. Hang on. Oh, thank you. Sorry? Oh, where was it from? No, it's for me. It's for me. Sorry. Sorry about that. I need to put on some music in the background, which reminds me, my bloody hi-fi. I thought, okay, I can't listen to music on my PC. So I go to put CD into the hi-fi. CD is not working. And I tried different CDs. So, yeah. I was looking at hi-fi systems for what I want, the specs that I want. 300 quid. 300 quid. And the reviews on them weren't even that great. So, yeah. The wealthy and the elite have always wanted to control the masses. Well, they did, didn't they? When you look back at feudal times, you know, the taxes were collected by the sheriffs and, you know, the paupers worked the land. And, yeah. So, coming back to this building in China, so like 30,000 people live in this building. It's massive. And it looks like this massive block of flats, and some of them live in these tiny rooms. Now, a lot of the people that live there don't even go outside. It's that big. And they are, you know, internet influencers, streamers. They stream. That's the work that they do. So that's quite terrifying. But they grow their own food. There's gyms. There's shops, there's restaurants, there's all sorts in this building, so they don't even have to go out. And you all know how, overpopulated China is. Will that happen here? It's sort of like when you look at things like that, it's a bit like, what was the movie with, oh my goodness, I can see with Bruce Willis in, and the girl that he had to save, set in the future, and they had flying cars and stuff. So I can't remember the name of the 30,000 people. Yeah, 30,000 people. Die Hard. No, not Die Hard. That's my Christmas movie. That is my Christmas movie. Not Die Hard. Oh, what was her name? Mila Jovovich was in it. Lilu. Her name was Lilu. Her character was Lilu. Too communistic an idea for some Western nations who like picket fences. Exactly. I wouldn't want to live in something like that. I really wouldn't. Yeah, it was a futuristic movie. I definitely wouldn't want to live. Yes, The Fifth Element. That's the one. That's the one. One of my favourite films, that. I did love Bruce Willis. I thought he was a great actor. Die Hard 3 was my favourite. Die Hard 3 was my favourite, with Samuel L. Jackson. I thought it was hilarious. Many populations are already beginning to shrink, though. That is true. And that is something else that comes up in a lot of the feed that I look at, in that, I can't remember what they call it now. Mine's gone blank due to the delivery guy. The fact that the, what's it called? The menopause fog. Great Replacement Theory. That's the one. That's the one where the Islam is trying to take over from white people, and just, Tufton Street talked about that, didn't they? Tufton Street talked about that. Oh, hang on. The Regent International Centre, that's the one, massive S-shaped 39-storey high-rise. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one, Chris C. Thank you for that information. Couldn't remember the name. That's the thing. With not having computers and being able to set up and everything ready for the show, you're like stuck with a phone that I mean, the screen's broken and everything. This is my game phone. This is what and my books are on here, and my games are on there. So I've been having to use that and this, and will we end up living like that at some stage? Possibly not. Like Pagan said, that the population has gone down, and it will go down even further as the boomer generation starts to pop their clogs. And those are the ones that are complaining about PIP. So you all know that Farage decided this week, well, not Farage, because he didn't actually announce it. He's vanished again, hasn't he? I am convinced, guys, I am convinced he's very ill. I really am convinced he's very ill. I'm convinced he has the big C. And I said this ages ago, and it wouldn't surprise me to find out that he has. It functions as a self-contained vertical city housing estimated 20,000 residents with a peak capacity occupancy claims reaching up to 30,000 people. Yeah. I like Samuel Jackson movie with the lady who had amnesia. That was brilliant. Gina Davis. She's one of my favourite actresses. Got my gun in my pocket. That one. Brilliant. That's the one reason you're called the producer. Absolutely, Chris C. So, yeah, this new reform policy that they've put into their manifesto, they want to cut PIP on people with mild anxiety. People with mild anxiety do not get PIP. It's impossible. It's absolutely impossible. As a survivor, hi Ren, lovely to see you. I wouldn't wish cancer on anyone. Yeah, I I know how you feel, because my granddad and my dad passed away from liver cancer, and Carl Urban in Dread is one of my favourite films, much better than Stallone version. I do love Carl Urban. He is another one of my favourite actors. Long Kiss Goodnight, that's the one, Billy, that's the one. It could be Running Scared, but this has been, he was sort of in and out of stuff for a while before the 5 million was mentioned. So this this PIP thing that they want to do, we know that the biggest majority of benefits goes to pensioners. I'm the next generation of pensioner. That'll be within the next 10 years. Within the next 10 years, I'll become a pensioner. But there are far fewer Gen Xers who will be pensioners, and then there are far fewer millennials who will be pensioners, and there will be far fewer Gen Zs that will be millennials, and Gen Alphas be millennials, sorry, that will be pensioners. So that older age, like the boomers, the boomer generation, they, do take up the majority of that. Plus, don't forget, we are living longer now due to modern medicine. So all of these spondylitis. Oh God, yeah. Ankylosing. I said in my video that I did yesterday, if you didn't watch it, go and have a look. You're not wrong. Very few Gen Z will be millennials. Sometimes the words that come out, because the brain's not in gear, as my dad used to say, put your brain in gear before you open your mouth. I can hear him laughing at me now. I swear to God, my dad is with me all the time. Yesterday when I was running, there was a pigeon. I think the buzzard must have caught it, and it was on the path, and there were white feathers everywhere. So I picked up, it was quite a big clump, and put it in my hair. So if you watch at the beginning of yesterday's video, you'll see a big white clump of feathers in my hair. I put it in my hair so that I don't lose it. Oh, my thoughts on Andrew Tate. Yes, I'm going to come to that in a minute. Dispassionate observer, lovely to see you. Thank you for being here. Byline Times have a lot of dirt on Farage. No one else seems to be listening, it seems. Byline Times have sort of vanished, haven't they, recently? They're not as prominent as they were a year or two ago. So coming back to whatever it was I was saying, because the train has gone again. Pip. Yeah, you were just saying about ankylosing spondylitis. Okay, I have spondylosis in C5 and C6 in my neck, which affects my shoulders and affects my ability to put my arms in the air for long periods of time, like washing my hair. It's I can't stand like that for a long time. Also sleep, oh my God, wake up in the morning and stuck. I've had frozen shoulder before as well, where I woke up like that. And yeah, I couldn't get dressed to go to the doctor, so the doctor had to come to me. I felt so stupid. I've also got a herniated disc in my lower spine. But my two biggest ailments are my COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, which is very similar to emphysema. Yes, caused by me, used to smoke, regret it, so upset with myself that I did. Nothing I can do. But what I do is I try really hard to stay healthy. I run, which helps with my breathing, but the humidity doesn't help. Young millennial here. I have nothing against millennials, nothing against Gen Zers, nothing against Gen Alphas. I think that the boomers have left the world in a right bloody state. I think us Gen Xers tried to fix stuff. And I've seen quite a few Gen Zers say that we Gen Xers stuffed everything up. No, we didn't. We tried to fix the stuff that that the boomers destroyed. Capitalism, consumerism. That was the boomers was the time of consumerism. That's when washing machines, TVs, fridges, people could afford to buy houses. They could afford to buy 3-piece suites and all the mod cons that they couldn't buy previously. Anxiety, depression, and congestive heart failure aren't enough to warrant PIP. Yep, I have. So I've got COPD, which over time will get worse and I will need to use oxygen at some stage in my life. I am trying to stave off of that for as long as I can by running. Yeah, the boomers wouldn't move over. Absolutely. 68, 69. Best number. How do I get on with high impact running? Well, I do long distance running. Yesterday I did 5K. So I do sprints within my training. I'm a bit of a plodder. My speed is not that great and I'm a bit overweight at the moment. So I'm seeing the doctor next week, hopefully to get, I need to relook at getting HRT and hopefully to look at getting onto the weight loss jab. Hello, Liebshin, lovely to see you. You've got to get your big toe amputated. Oh my God, that's awful. But my ex's grandmother had diabetes and she got gangrene in her leg from diabetes, and they told her that they would have to amputate her leg and she refused and she passed away very shortly after. So I hope everything goes well. I really, really do. So I've got COPD and I've got chronic kidney disease as well. That is caused by the medication that I take for my bipolar disorder, of which those of you who want to go la la la, do so now because this is triggering. I have tried to remove myself from the earth 11 times. I used to self-harm, as in using a sharp instrument and top of my legs, and also hitting myself. So yeah, I haven't done that for quite a while, to be honest. I'm pretty stable on my meds, but I also think that bipolar becomes easier the older you get. And I don't drink anymore. And, there's various, I can't drink with my kidneys. It affects me like that, It's like, no, Even pop, even fizzy pop, I can feel it. I can actually feel it in my kidneys. I'm very aware of my body, though. I used to teach yoga. So I've got those two. Then I've got a complex hiatus hernia in my stomach, which I have been wanting an operation for years. And I was supposed to go to the hospital in Sheffield, but the 2 days that they gave me, I couldn't get there. Could not get there. That was for an assessment. I'd already had a few assessments. It's been going on for a long time. But also the other part of me is like, do I want them to cut open my stomach? I know it'll be keyhole surgery, but it where the hernia is, your heart's right there. So that was the whole point. It's like, and then when am I going to be able to run after that? Because running is my new addiction. But I say new, I used to run years ago. I was really fast then, but I was like 15 years younger. So now my running is, I plod, but I love running. I absolutely love running. I do sprints. So I always try to speed up. I do speed up, sprint, slower, sprint, slower, sprint, slower, depending on my training that I'm doing and where I am in my training. Like, I prefer to do long distance though. I like doing 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Ks very slowly. But 5K is my sort of, try and do 5K daily. So you can't get PIP for mild anxiety or tennis elbow, as Robert Jenrick was saying. Absolute bollocks. You cannot get PIP for those things. I can't get PIP for my things. And because I actually contacted them, I was receiving PIP because there was a time 2 years ago where I could barely get out of my chair. I was having to use my stick for everything. It was awful. And I then sort of started self-healing and motivated myself and said, right, I'm going to get fit again. So I contacted DWP and said, look, I can now walk and I can now run. So they obviously stopped payment, and that's over a year ago. And I've been appealing ever since because of my mental health, the COPD, the chronic kidney disease, and all those things interact and play on each other, don't they? So it's really hard. My running, I get back and I'm puffed out. You can see I'm bright red. You can watch the videos that I do when I run. I actually often stop in the wood for a bit of a break for like 10-12 minutes and then carry on running again. It depends how I feel. Like some days I just want to run and not stop. I call those runs for joy because it's just like I smile, I enjoy it. But the heat has been horrendous. The heat has been horrendous. Sorry guys, I probably missed a whole load of comments, so I am sorry. Signed you off of the books. Excellent, Mithril. Excellent news. Excellent news. Used to teach yogurt to self-replicate. I failed. The yogurt was just too thick. I can think of other people that are just too thick as well. You lost your mum 3 years ago to COPD. It's a horrible disease that suffocates you slowly. 3 weeks later, you had your first heart attack. God bless you, Liebchen. And you know something, that heart attack was probably exacerbated by your mum passing and the fact that she probably would have been on oxygen for a long while. My sister's mother-in-law, lovely, lovely woman, she passed from COPD. Well, it was emphysema, but same thing really, isn't it? And you could tell, I can tell, like today, my chest has been thick and, a lot of phlegm. But I will still go for a run. I will still go for a run. I'm not going to stop. Fixated on getting everyone onto employment. Firstly, there isn't the jobs available. Secondly, said jobs are not very well paid and require topping up by the state. Exactly. If they paid decent wages, people would be able to get off of benefits, but they don't. And this is what many, many people don't believe. Because of Channel 4 and Benefit Street and all of those assumptions that everybody on benefits sits around doing nothing all day. Not so. I'm here trying to earn a living. There are other things that I've got going on in the background as well. I don't want to talk about them at the moment because I don't want to jinx them. But, what more can you do? What more can you do? And if I lose this house when they come to knock it down, I'll have to live in a tent. Like Burnham says, he wants to get all of the homeless people off the street by Christmas. And I said in my video yesterday, but there will be more people that become homeless before Christmas. A lot of tenancies start on the 1st of December. So yeah, they're not going to, it's just not going to happen. And some people want to be homeless. That's their choice. Why, if they want to be homeless, let them be homeless. Then they're not a burden on the state because they're not in social housing. There are so many reasons for the benefit system being the way it is at the moment and being as bad as it is. And we all know what those reasons are. Thatcher selling off the buy to rent, what was it? She sold off the council houses. Can't remember what the scheme was called now. But then you've got, while I was at my mum's, she watches Homes Under the Hammer, and I'm sat there seething at these people who are just buying houses and doing them out and renting them out and charging. One was a 2 up, 2 down. Granted, the finish of the property was really top notch when they finished. 1,400 a month. That wasn't in London either. That is more than universal credit. more than universal credit. Because don't forget, your universal credit has to pay your rent and everything else. You do get discounts on council tax and so on and so on. You can apply for discount on water as well. But you are constantly stressed. There is constantly more going out than there is coming in. And you sort of have to juggle, like, okay, I've got this bill to pay and that bill to pay. By the way, sorry, if anybody would like to support the channel, I'm not monetized at the moment due to the fact that I can't get onto the internet to sort out my tax issues. If you would like to support the channel, you can buy me a coffee. I'm sure one of my wonderful moderators will pop a link up into the chat. That would be really wonderful. Thank you very, very much, because I am really struggling at the moment. But aren't we all? If you can't afford to, I understand. Completely understand. You know, it's funny, the other day somebody put something up saying, oh, but you're asking for money. I'm like, it's my livelihood. What am I supposed to do? You know, all the content creators we know and we follow, and there's a whole group of us that speak to each other and get on with each other, and we have very similar views, and support each other. You know, we're all trying to earn a living. Sorry guys, I'm going to have, they're making me go for kidney function tests every month still. Yeah, if I find a problem, if I feel pain or I notice my urines change colour, I do contact the doctors. Haven't had a kidney function test for ages though, but I'll ask for one next week when I see the doctor. She's going to be very upset with me. Sorry, I'm seeing lots of people talking about Devon. Thank you, Elle, and thank you, Chris, for putting up the Buy Me a Coffee links. It would really be a massive help. I have a 300 quid vet bill for Florence. Buy to let. Yeah. So these people buying these houses, I think it was you, Viper, because I can see myself and comments. I hope I'm not buffering. Am I buffering, guys? If somebody can hit the love heart button to let me know if they can see me, that would be really great. It wouldn't surprise me if it's dropped. The timer's still clicking away here, so it's still showing that I'm live. Ignore's talking about Devon. Oh, I am ignoring you. You guys have your own conversation. That's what the chat's for. Get to know each other. So yeah, this benefit thing, it's just a load of bollocks, and it's there to thank you guys for the love hearts. That's brilliant. Sorting out my show from here. Oh, thank you, DB. Guys, do not forget to go over to Daily Blase at 5 p.m. for Friday Frolics. Cannot recommend the channel more. Really, he's absolutely brilliant. And the video that you did, you've done two actually. You did the one on the trans issue, and the one that you did yesterday. Was it Heartless Brewer? Was it the Heartless Brewer one? And I will take care. I'll try not to fall over. I do have a video to record there beforehand, and it looks like the technicians aren't going to get here because I've not had a text message saying that they're going to be here in X amount of time. Yeah, this comes up. I can actually see this better than I can see it on my piece at my laptop, because my laptop's further away than this, and the varifocals go down. You see, when you'll see me on the internet looking like that, because I have to get where's my magnifying glass? It's in the living room. Sorry guys, like I said, my chest is bad at the moment. £469 per month for one bedroom. Jeez. Yeah, in Derbyshire, I've got it set at a certain price range, and I'm like, all I get is like one bedroom in a house share. No way am I living like that. I would rather live in my tents. It's that simple. I would rather live in my tents. Jeremy Vine, toilet issue, and also covers LBC cis woman. Yes, it was the cis woman's call. And there was another video that I saw last night as well. It was a short. It was on Facebook, and it was a woman who had gone to the toilet. She did look quite butch, so possibly gay. I don't know. It makes no bloody difference to me. She had long shorts on and sort of like a hoodie kind of thing. She had longish hair though, but you know, men have long hair too. And the security guard called her out and said she should go to the men's toilets. You plan on escaping to Scotland? Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, the benefit system is claiming PIP is difficult. It is not easy. This is my third. It's now going to tribunal. Namaste, Shadow Child. Lovely to see you. Lovely to see you. Sorry. Isn't Burnham going to cap rents? When? Would be nice if he'd do it at the moment. Oh, goodness me, yes, as well. The guy that... there's so much that's gone on, so many topics that I'm just sort of focusing on a few topics because I could sit here for hours. And, of course, Daily Blase. You've got to go watch Daily Blase. So, yeah, this woman said, you know, we knew that a lot of cisgendered women are going to be stopped and called out. And it's just bollocks. It's absolute bollocks. A handful of women have done this. And then the right wing has stepped in, the feminazis have stepped in and said, no, they're not real women. Feminism is about equal rights. A lot of men think feminism is about being or having or receiving more than men. Not the case. Feminism is about reaching equal rights. And that equal rights for everybody. Equal rights for everybody. Reyners rode back on possible rent controls days after she was paid to give a speech to the organisation that represents estate and letting agents. Oh, wonderful. And those cisgendered women should sue the TERFs. I am waiting. I don't go out enough, though, really, to be stopped in a woman's toilet before going in. And the places that I do go to be honest, festivals, gigs, and that kind of thing, nobody would care. Nobody would care. Nobody at all. It just wouldn't make a difference. The misandry is about women having more and hating men. Yeah, it's about... misandry is women hating men. You know, and I do want to say this, I'm not a misandrist, but every day I find something new to dislike men for. Yeah, first letter in the AHRC. Yeah. Yeah. And there wouldn't be misandry if there wasn't misogyny. So I'm going to talk briefly about the letter, the leaflet that the government's created. The reason I'm only going to talk about it briefly is because the script that I was working on earlier is for the video that I'm going to be recording, which is about that. It's very in-depth. It's probably going to be a long one, so God knows how long that's going to take to upload if they ever come and fix my bloody internet. But as far as the trans community go, you guys know, if any of you are out there and you need the loo and you're with me, just grab my arm and you can go into the loos with me. sod the turfs, sod them. The guidance stands, the guidance gets scrapped, my rights come and go, and it's all based on how it affects cis women. I'm a passenger in your own erasure. I like that. I mean, I don't like that you have to say that, but that's a good way of putting it. I can't imagine the amount of shit trans women go through. I can't imagine how painful it must be for you. Elle, if you've got any links to the all the trans petitions, please pop them into the chat as well. I can't pin anything because I'm on the phone. You don't have as many clicky things to click on and sort out. So L, the petitions. Yes, L, the petitions. I just don't get it. I don't get the, and you know what annoys me more than anything? And I get this a lot on my videos when I talk about trans issues. And I get this from men. Men saying that if they ever saw, and they don't call them trans women, they're blokes. So please excuse me when I say this. These are not my words. These are, whose words are they? Monk MC or Bass Saxon, one of them. Well, you know who they are. The links aren't working. Oh, bugger. I'm sorry. It's probably this chat. I'm sorry. I am sorry that they're not working. Where was I? Hello, Sid. Lovely to see you. Thank you for joining. Guys, give us a like if you can. 25 watching, only 15 likes. So that would be awesome if you could give us a like. Also, subscribe to the channel if you can and share on your socials. When you are in chat, please be polite. I'm going to come to the tapes in a minute. I think I'm going to talk about the leaflet briefly, and then I'll come to the tapes because I know somebody did ask me what my thoughts were about the tapes. I've got a lot of thoughts about the tapes. I was watching Gadget yesterday. He was live streaming with Murdered by Crayons and Milk Bar TV and the other woman, I can't remember her name now. And they were talking about the tapes through the whole thing. It was brilliant. Still here, just working in the background. You work away, Reagan. Get going with that work. So this leaflet that the Labour Party have produced to give to migrants, asylum seekers. I've got a lot to say about it, and a lot of it I'm going to say in my video that I shall be recording. See, I wanted today to try and record on my laptop and edit on my laptop because it would be quicker to upload to YouTube and it wouldn't take as long. But I can't. I can work on my laptop, but I can't do any internetings on my laptop. And it's getting later and later, and these guys still aren't here. Yeah, the thing that I heard earlier that I thought was them that had come to fix it was actually a delivery, and they left it by the bloody gate. Anybody could have walked past and got it. It's jam jars. It's for my jams that I'm going to be making. And the other knock on the door was my prescription delivery, thank God, because I only took one of my medications this morning, sort of working out, better stretch out over the weekend. So this leaflet, I think it's a good thing. But I think it should be given to every single man in the country, and it should be handed to every single child, male and female, because women also need to understand what consent is. Now, the figures, and there's, you know, if you are of the right-wing side of things, you will be looking at per capita. but 81% of grapes in the United Kingdom are white British men. Those grapes generally, mostly happen within a relationship. So it's either a husband, a partner, or a boyfriend. It could be a father, it could be a brother, it could be an uncle, but it's mostly somebody they know. Often it's an ex. Yes, if you could pop it onto Discord. As I say, I will be doing a video on it. It will be in the video. So yeah. Social services have said your grandson can come back on Wednesday. Oh, that's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant news, Mithril. Brilliant. Yay. Excuse me, guys. Chesty chest. You know what will happen now? I'll start recording and halfway through my recording, they'll turn up. But I've figured out now how to cut halfway through the video. New skill has been learned. Thank you for that. I see it's just come up now on my other phone about the Discord stuff, my producer. Hi, Venom. Yeah, it's quite sharp, this one. I've actually got a choker upstairs that's got really long studs on, and I went to a Nine Inch Nails concert and I was asked to take it off because the studs were that big. I don't think they stop it anymore, but yeah, this is definitely a weapon to be used, you know, if you are being chased by a bloke down the street. L. Not all jams are edible. Traffic jam, for example. Unless you know the man from Mars, but now he only eats guitars. I love that song. Love Blondie. Love Blondie. Rapture. It's one of my favourite albums, that. Parallel Lines. Absolutely brilliant album. So, yes, I think the leaflet is a good thing, but it needs to be taught to everybody because 81% of, as I say, grapes in this country are committed by white British men. Now, I say this often, and I know I'm going to get some flack for this. Hi, Doc Davis. Lovely to see you. Thank you for joining. Very difficult subjects this afternoon. So if you do get a chance, go to Daily Blase at 5 p.m. so you can have be cheered up by him because he talks about much happier things than I do. So these grapes that are occurring in the streets by asylum seekers, now don't get me wrong, guys, it's bloody disgusting. In my opinion, if they are an asylum seeker and they do grape or sexually harass women, girls, they should be deported immediately. That's my, you know, once they're found guilty. One word in the leaflet that because I was watching Nick Ferrari and I also watched Sheila Fogarty's take on the leaflet, and they were saying could be. Now, my point of saying could instead of will is because, don't forget, that everybody is innocent until proven guilty. Asylum seekers, it's asylum seekers from whomever's coming over on the small boats, Venom. So it's those that can't get through here on legal routes because those legal routes are not open for them. You know, if there were safe and legal routes for them to get here, there wouldn't be this problem. But unfortunately, the system doesn't work like that. And Brexit caused a lot of this problem because pre-Brexit, there were no small boats. Chrissy, I don't remember being taught about the age of consent or what consent actually is when I was at secondary school. No, I don't remember being taught that either. Chris, I don't know how old you are, but I finished school in 1987. And it was what was it, 1991 or 1999? I can't remember. It was one of those years when rape within marriage was actually seen as a crime. Up until that point, a man could force his wife to have intercourse. Yeah, being of fighting age. You know, aren't we all of fighting age? You know, I'd fight if you know, if the civil disobedience or whatever was brought to me, I'd fight. So I think I do think that if they're still in the process of claiming asylum, they should be barred from being in the country. If they have received asylum, hi Cat Eyes, lovely to see you. If they have already claimed asylum, then yes, they should receive the sentence. Now, you guys all know what I feel the sentence should be for GRAPE and SA and SV and DV, and especially CA with PDFs. It should be life. And I know some of you are going to disagree with me, and that is fine. You are entitled to your views. A lot of women, it was actually quite an even break, to be honest, on Nick Ferrari's show. Some women were coming on and saying it shouldn't just be targeted at asylum seekers. It should also be at all men. And one woman got very upset, and her call will be one that I will be using in my video. And then others were saying, oh, no, it's right, and why are we importing them? So we're not importing them. Brexit caused this problem. We had an agreement with France prior to Brexit where we would send people back, and that fell away. And I don't, you see the news, and I look at these crimes in depth. You can see on my channel the sheer volume of, I report on grapes, and I report on grapes from those of a different ethnicity and skin colour to myself, as well as those who are white British men. And the vast majority are white British men. The vast majority of them are known by the victim, survivor. Dublin Agreement, thank you. Yes, Viper Scott, thank you. The Dublin Agreement. Thank you. I knew it was called something, couldn't remember. But yeah, Max and Graham, and most definitely Phil Morehouse from A Different Bias, know more about that than I do. I know things have happened. I'm well aware of what's changed since Brexit, but I can't remember all the names. So, my focus is on different things. Just got a notification that Daily Blase is going live in half an hour, guys. You've got half an hour to listen to me waffling on about bollocks and depressing stuff, and then you've got 2 hours of laughter and fun with Darren from Daily Blase. Chemical castration or physical castration has been proven not to work because it doesn't stop the impulse and the intrusive thoughts. It doesn't, they will use other penetrative methods because it's not the actual satisfaction of the orgasm. It is the control. It is the, being able to hurt that person. Hello, Rosemary. It's lovely to see you. Thank you for being here. Guys, if you haven't hit the like button, please do. So, yeah, I think the leaflet is good because now something else that many people do not know about is when you move to a new country, you are given information about the laws and the sort of customs of that country. I looked up Canada specifically because I've got a few friends who live in Canada. It was like, I don't know why, it was the first thing that came up in my head was Canada. And, I remember when we went to South Africa, there are certain regulations and rules that we had to follow. I was naturalized as a citizen because I was there when I was 12. So when I turned 16, I got my ID book and was naturalized as a South African citizen. But if, like if you go to America and to get your green card, you have to do certain things and do these exams and stuff. Our Reform Party wants to put the Navy in the Channel. We don't. Reform Party are a bunch of idiots, and they stir. They are there purely to cause division, and that has been Farage's goal from day one in his, political journey, is to cause, division. I mean, the guy used to sing, Nazi Hitler songs, so, So, yeah, the problem, I'm going to say this, and I know I'm going to get flagged, is not one of race or ethnicity. It is one of gender. It is men. Not all men. Granted, not all men. But 1 in 4 women in the United Kingdom are raped or some sort of violence. 1 in 4 women. That means 1 in 4 men is a rapist or a SVSA devier. So if you've got a group of 3 friends, are you the rapist, SAer, SVer, devier? Or is one of your friends? And I do believe that men will often know which ones they are by the way that they talk about their missus, or they talk about women in general, and yes, on the video, there is a list of age of consent. And the country with the lowest age of consent is Afghanistan, and that's been since the Taliban took over. And yes, I absolutely detest the way that women are treated in that country. Hi Sarah, lovely to see you. I detest the way that women are treated in many, many countries, and I detest the way that women are still treated here and in Western countries, because we are still not equal. It is up to us as women in the West who have gained some level of equality to help pull up the equality of those women in those countries. And we need to prevent that from happening. One thing that I will say, and this is just a thought, those men that are coming here from Afghanistan or from those countries whose culture is very different to ours, look at South Africa, the Zulu nation there. Men will often have more than one wife, several wives, lots of children from each wife. That is their culture. Would that be allowed here? No. But in South Africa, that is their culture. Things have gone backwards in the UK and the West. Absolutely, they have. For some reason, I'm not seeing Venom's comments. I don't know why. I can't change the comments that I'm seeing on here. It's not like on the laptop, and I'm not fiddling with buttons because I should probably lose everybody here. So yes, there are men that come over that are deviants and will be in that mindset. More for them, yeah, unfortunately, is whenever the child reaches puberty. Yeah, it's sort of 9. Yeah, I do have that figure in my video. But in a lot of European countries, 13. I think it's 13 in Italy. There's a lot of European countries where the age is different, and there's also a lot of countries around the world where you would think that the age would be lower, or as in younger, but it's actually 18. So Japan, surprisingly, is one of the worst. One of the worst, 13. 13. Man strong, man provide. It's just how it was in the Stone Age. Exactly. And you've got the red pill manosphere saying that, oh, they want virgins. They don't want women who have been run through, whatever that means. But they want to be able to have intercourse whenever they want, but they don't want to marry the women who have had intercourse. They want to marry virgins, and the younger the better. And this is 40-year-old men wanting to marry 18-year-olds, in America or whatever Western country it is. Which will lead me on to Andrew Tate, because I don't have a lot of time left before Daily Blase, because I'm not going to run over Daily Blase, because we all need to go and watch him. So these letters, leaflets, are a good thing. They're educational. A lot of people from certain countries won't know or understand that, because those countries are patriarchal. Those countries are misogyny. These countries have had, like South Africa with the Zulu nation. So their beliefs are very different when it comes to women. So yes, I do believe that when whomever comes here should get this leaflet. Doesn't matter if they're an asylum seeker or not. And I do think that, like I said already, that those who do commit these crimes and are still seeking asylum, and they are found guilty, should be deported back to their country of origin. That, like I've said many, many times, and I know that not all of you agree with me, yes, anyone over the age of 5 years older than them to, have intercourse with them, So they have to be, 18 to have intercourse with the 13-year-old. They can't be older than 18. That's right, Sorry, I didn't put that caveat in, but that is, has to be 5 years. But still, in Scotland, Aberdeenshire, a 12-year-old boy has been arrested on allegations of raping an 8-year-old girl. They have not released names, they have not released ethnicity, because they have anonymity, because they're children. But it's not just adult men. It's children. It's social media, it's access to porn, it's access to the manosphere, it's red pill content, it's, if you haven't watched Adolescence on Netflix, go watch Adolescence. Absolutely brilliant series that is well worth watching. JFC, Mithril, JFC, 12-year-old boy raping an 8-year-old girl. Allegedly. This obviously needs to be proven. Do I believe it? I can believe it happens, absolutely. I was 8 years old when I was first sexualized. A young lad looked up my skirt at school constantly. It was a daily thing. It was a daily thing. Luckily now, a lot of the information in that leaflet sort of discusses other things, not just SASB, DV and grape. It also discusses harassment on the streets and that kind of thing, which British men also need to learn. So looking at the male population, the age of consent in the UK in 12 something or other, Chris, I'm sure you're going to correct me now, was 12 years old. Then in 1875 it was changed to 14, I think, or 15, and then it was changed to 16 in 1880 something, I think. Can't remember the exact dates. It'll be in the video. Men have always wanted to sleep with young girls. Why do you think that it's very fashionable for hair removal in the pubic area? Because it makes the vag look like a child's. And the amount of crime that I find on grown adult men raping babies is horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. There's a channel I watch called Misery Machine. Go watch Misery Machine. They cover these stories with the utmost respect to the victims, and you'll find yourself crying. I do. I have no words when I go to comment. I just put teary faces because I can't speak or say anything because the crimes are just so awful. Yeah, watch Adolescence. It's really good. It really is good. I binged it. I knew what it was about, and I binge watched it in one night. So it's like 4 episodes. And it's Stephen Graham, absolutely brilliant British actor, so well worth. You couldn't watch something like that. Rosemary's, you don't have to. You don't have to. If you already know what goes on, then, you've got that vision in your mind. I watch it because it's what I talk about. So let's get on to the Tates. So this week, so funny, Joseph McBride's, I can't remember all the details now. I need to do a video on this, which I will be doing. I've just not had time because this leaflet thing came up and it became my priority. But Joseph McBride has held this conference outside the Miami detention center where the Tates are being held. And so there was a protest to free Top G, free Top G, free Top G, fuck's sake. And one of the articles that I read said there were hundreds of people there. No, there were about 50 blokes, and they had like cardboard signs, free Top G. And in support of the Tates, they all got down and did push-ups. They all did push-ups because they're alphas. No, they're betas. And to be honest, they're not even betas, they're omegas, because Top G is not an alpha. Definitely not an alpha. Sarah, I wish you lived next door to me. Oh, you're going to Silverstone. Oh no. That sucks, Sarah. That sucks. I really hope you can find the strength and energy to go. I don't know what races are taking place at Silverstone. Is it a Grand Prix? I don't know. It's just so frustrating. So frustrating. For me, supporting my trans allies, my trans sisters and brothers, because obviously I support trans men as well. It is just horrendous that what you go through. And TERFs can just fuck off. If you're a TERF and you watch this channel, fuck off. I don't need you here. So, yeah, they got down and they were doing push-ups. Not very well, I may add. Now, I know that push-ups and me don't go well together. It's not my core muscles. My core muscles are really strong. It's my arm muscles. I'm not that great with my arms, probably to do with my neck. But, yeah, their form was not very good on their push-ups. However, I can run 5Ks, so there is that. It's for their ticket event. Oh, bless you. I hope that things get better, Sarah. I know what anxiety is like. I've experienced it, and there's a lot of things that I don't do now. Any TERFs watching, please make yourself known so I can have some serious fun booting you. Yes, and any of you wonderful, lovely trans women and trans men, if we do get any TERFs on here, just ignore them. Let Chris and I deal with them. Voldemort, despicable witch, that she is. That she is. Although I would change that to bitch because I'm a witch. Running 5K, drug run. God, it's ages since I've had any illegal substances. Absolutely ages. I've got some races coming up October, November, December, January, February. So a lot of hard training to do before then. Need to get my speed up. I'm only doing 5Ks now, though. I'm not doing 10Ks anymore. I'm too slow on the 10s. And I'm okay doing 10Ks on my own runs because I will walk and I don't push myself on them. I do it for enjoyment. You're in garden maintenance. Is that okay? Yes, that's okay. Absolutely okay. You steel toe cap boots. Oh, I've got my new rocks upstairs. So the Tates, they've been moaning. Tristan Tate says he's lost something like 13 pounds, which really isn't a lot of weight. But where has he got the scales from? Andrew Tate's ex, have I got X on here? Yeah. Where are we? What is the time? 10 minutes. 10 minutes. So this is from Common Sense Skeptic. I've just got onto Twitter quickly. With regards to the Taint twins, here's the reality of the situation. August the 27th, they'll have their hearing for bond and detention. This is a formality, the hearing lasting maybe a couple of hours. So whatever McBride is cobbling together for submission tomorrow will be a wasted effort to rack up billable hours. True, he's just in it for the money. The man's an idiot. He would not be allowed to come and be the Tate's lawyers here. There's no way. There's no way. He would be an absolute failure. Oh, yes, and please support Chris C. Chris C makes some wonderful bandanas and lead covers for doggies. For the doggies doing the runs, that's brilliant. Yeah, that we have, there's a couple that I do that are Canicross events as well, which I don't mind because they go at different times. We all go at different times, you know. Hi, James, lovely to see you. Oh, I've not even talked about that today. It'll be something that I'll talk about next week. They will be kept in detention through these proceedings using history and procedure as indicators. September the 16th, the UK has to have their formal paperwork handed in. This does not have to include evidence that everyone is harping about. And sometime after that, there will be another hearing to determine if this paperwork is done properly. This will, again, not be a trial, only a hearing. And the UK is very good about having their paperwork done properly. Oh, yes. The CPS is so tight when it comes to this stuff. They really are. It's so difficult to get convictions against grape, for example. You have to have such solid evidence that, you know, when it goes to court, you have to have the CPS won't take it on if there isn't solid evidence. And I've been saying this to people, and it's not like they're going to, this is the Crown Court. This is the Crown Court. After that hearing goes the way it should, ordering the extradition of the brothers, all that's left are appeals, about one every 3 to 6 months until they run out of options. District Court, habeas corpus petition, State Appeal Court, revisit by State Appeal Court, and SCOTUS. Not scrotum, SCOTUS. Every process is another 3 to 6 months, and it will be pointless anyway because they will be still in incarceration. They will still be in. Oh, sorry if my stuff just dropped. Oh yeah, CPS can use Tate's own videos because he does. He admits to everything. He admits to everything. Absolutely everything. every 3 to 6 months, and it will be pointless anyway. In between these stretched out dates, they will sit in Miami FDC, bitching about fish sticks, lying about the commissary they claim to have no access to, yet have $3K each sitting there to be used and receipts to show that what they've bought. They're living on Snickers bars, stress eating. So, yeah, they are done. They are done. McBride is in it for the money. I think that the Tates are idiots to still keep him around. The charges relating to indecent images of children relate to the videos of Tate physically and abusing 14-year-old girl in the UK and then making said material available. Yeah, Vivian, they're not sure if she was 14 or 15 at the time. That is available on the internet. You can find that. It is on the internet. And that's one of the reasons he was kicked out of Big Brother. So what time are we on? Oh, we've got a few minutes. So basically, let's have a look and see what Tate's been. No, this watch is slow. It's 2 minutes slow. It's 16:53. So let's have a look at what Tate has to say. Sorry, I'm just looking at comments about Tate because I've got it specifically set on stuff about Tate on here. So let's have a look for, oh, what's his name? Cobra Tate. Cobra Tate. Cobra Tate. I am following him, but it's only because I want to see his Tates. His Tates. I don't want to see his Tates. I don't think he's got any. His tweets. So from 2 hours ago, life is combat at the top. Everyone wants to get rid of you to get the money, power, and influence that you have. If nobody is trying to take you out, you've already lost the game. Your life is something that nobody wants. Yeah, Andrew, nobody wants your life. 17 hours ago, even if a man is guilty, this is not rule of law, and I am innocent. 18 hours ago. For half a decade, I have been thrown in and out of jail, travel banned, slandered in the media, with all of my bank accounts frozen and all of my assets frozen. This is impossible for a normal man with a job and a family to survive. This is already a larger punishment than jail. Innocent until proven guilty does not exist. See, this is the thing. So many people do not understand how extradition works, and that he has to stay in detention until he is found whether he is going to be a flight risk or not. But Tate has admitted in videos that he's got loads of different passports for loads of different countries. He even talks about one of them that he's going to go live in Turkey. So, sorry, I've got one of my cats here. It's nearly tea time. So, yeah, it's different. If they're waiting for extradition, Crimea River taint, absolutely. He has a family. He's got kids. I know he's got a daughter, but he does have kids. But don't know how many kids, possibly loads. 19 hours ago, I have moved cells. I no longer see the church. I see a black bull, a welcome back banner, and a large black X statue. Everyone I see out of the window doing push-ups, I'll drop down and match you. Such an alpha. 20 hours ago, my enemies are desperate.
Something that sticks. The judge isn't interested in being quick. I'm going to tell all the normies at home something they don't realize. But at the upper echelons of life, everything's...
Sorry.
The judge wants to be correct. So it's taking time, but every time the judge actually sits and reads the papers, they're like, no, these boys don't deserve this. And slowly our lives are coming back to normal. So because of that, D-Call had been working on a second file. And today we have a new update. A girl I know very well told me she got a letter from D-Call and she had to go. She said, I don't want to go speak to these people. What they're doing to you is unfair. I said, if you don't go, they're going to come and they're going to kick your door down. They're going to arrest you.
să le spargă ușa mascații la 5 dimineața, un frate meu de 10 ani în casă.
Păi cum le spart ușa?
Da, intra peste ei în casă.
That's in Romanian.
La o săptămână, gen, după.
Also, her sister has a 2-year-old toddler in the house, so I don't want guns being waved around toddlers. So I said, listen, you should go. She said, I can't afford to go there. She lives in a town 6 hours away from Bucharest. I said, I will organize you a hotel and a car so that you can go and tell the truth. I will facilitate you doing what Decock wants, which is talking to Decock. After her interview today, she sat there and said, Andrew's a very nice man, you're all evil, he's done nothing wrong to anybody, I don't know why you're doing this. They said, how did you get here? She said, well, Andrew paid for me to come here. And where are you staying? She was in a hotel. Who's paying for the hotel? Andrew. I am now being charged with tampering with witnesses. They are charging me for witness tampering because I have facilitated a girl who didn't want to talk to them going to talk to them because she couldn't afford it to avoid masked men kicking in her door with a toddler.
So there you go.
Now I'm being charged
I mean,
with
what an
witness
idiot.
tampering. A girl I
You say-
already
sorry,
knew
I just
and
need
I've known
to-
for 8 years. They're coming at me with witness tampering and a bunch of other garbage in a second file, and their primary objective.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
is
This
to
is...
this country and
Shut
take
up.
all my money.
Shut up, Tate. So yeah, he's basically paid witnesses to testify for him. He is such a victim. It is witness tampering and intimidation. It absolutely is. Right, guys, I'm going to say goodbye. I'm not going to be streaming on Sunday. I'm taking the August off. I will be streaming. Hopefully I'll have internet, but it doesn't look like they're coming out today. So hopefully I'll have internet on Monday, and I might have to release the video on the leaflet in 2 different videos in order for it to upload, because otherwise it's going to take hours to upload. So yes, it is now time for Daily Blase. So if one of you can pop a link up for Daily Blase, that would be absolutely awesome. Oh, thank you, Chris C. Thank you. And all the chat, everybody in chat, thank you very, very much. Thank you to everybody who has been a part of today's show. I love you all very, 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 very much. And hopefully I will have the internet soon. Have a wonderful weekend, guys. Blessed be. Mwah. Is it going to stop? Is it going to stop? It's not stopping. It still says I'm live. Good luck with the internet. I need good luck with my mobile data at the moment. Why isn't this shutting down? Sorry, guys, this is not shutting down. It says my stream will stop immediately, but it's not. So I'm going to have to do it the difficult way. See you later, guys. It's still going. Fuck's sake. Is there another way to end it? No. Bloody hell. No. Ow! Cat claws. Okay.